A lot of people believe that bones only get weak because of aging. But there's a question that almost no one asks. What if part of this wear and tear is coming from medications used every day right at home? What's most unsettling is that this can happen silently for years, without pain, without any clear signs at first. Until one day, a fracture shows up after a simple fall, or you lose strength in your legs, or you get that feeling that your body has aged way too fast. And today, you're going to learn about 6 groups of extremely common medications that, in some situations, can speed up bone loss, increase fragility, or raise the risk of falls without most people even realizing it. The most important thing is to understand one simple fact: bone is alive. It might seem obvious, but sometimes the obvious needs to be said. Right now, your body's breaking down small parts of old bone and rebuilding new tissue. There's a constant renewal happening quietly inside you. The problem starts when this balance begins to fail. And some medications can play a role in this process over the years, especially when they're used continuously and no one is keeping an eye on bone health at the same time. This doesn't mean that these medications are bad or should be stopped. Many are essential and change lives. The goal here isn't to create fear, it's to raise awareness. And the first group might be the most common after 40. Stomach protectors. Omeprazole, pantoprazole, and esomeprazole are used by millions of people for reflux, gastritis, and heartburn. In many cases, they help a lot. The problem shows up when their use goes on for years without proper reevaluation. These medications reduce stomach acidity, and that can decrease the absorption of nutrients important for bones, like calcium, magnesium, and vitamin B12. The effect is usually slow and silent. The person keeps living normally while their body might be losing its ability to maintain strong bone structure. And there's an important detail. A lot of people take these medications as if they were completely harmless just because they're so common. But long-term use really needs to be reviewed regularly, especially for people who are sedentary, have a diet low in protein, or get little sun exposure. But before I talk about the other medications, if you want to check out shorter content, quick tips, and things from my daily life, follow me on Instagram. Over there, I always share health information with shorter videos. And don't forget to subscribe here to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Here, the content is longer, but I always try to bring you the best information possible so you can take better care of yourself. Continuing on, the next group of medications are corticosteroids. Prednisone, dexamethasone, and betamethasone are extremely important, for inflammatory diseases, allergies, arthritis, respiratory problems, and autoimmune diseases. In certain situations, they really make a huge difference. But prolonged use can speed up both bone loss and muscle loss at the same time. This creates a very dangerous combination because the bones get weaker while the muscles lose their ability to protect the body from falls. At the same time, some people start to notice it's harder to get up from a chair, climb stairs, or keep their balance. And what's most concerning is that this can happen slowly, almost without the person noticing. Another important detail is that a lot of people use corticosteroids repeatedly throughout their lives, including through self-medication or frequent injections, without realizing the cumulative impact this can have on their bones. But there's one group that usually comes as a real surprise: anticonvulsants. Phenytoin, carbamazepine, phenobarbital, and in some cases valproate can interfere with vitamin D metabolism over time. And vitamin D plays a direct role in maintaining bone health. What's interesting is that a lot of people think neurological medications only affect the brain. But the body works as an integrated network. Hormones, muscles, the gut, the nervous system, and bones are constantly communicating with each other. When certain medications alter mechanisms related to vitamin D and calcium, the bones can be silently affected, especially in people who already have other risk factors for osteoporosis. And maybe one of the most common situations actually involves a medication used daily by millions of people, levothyroxine. There's a very important nuance here. The problem usually isn't the medication itself, but rather excessive or poorly adjusted doses taken over many years. When the metabolism stays too accelerated, the body can start breaking down bone faster than it can rebuild it. This can happen especially when the thyroid stimulating hormone stays very low for long periods. The tricky part is that the signs are often mistaken for anxiety, stress, or just natural aging. Some people notice things like palpitations, muscle loss, weakness, or a feeling of physical exhaustion without realizing that their bones might also be affected in the process. That's why regular checkups are so important for anyone who uses levothyroxine continuously. Speaking of hormonal changes, there's another extremely important group, especially for women after menopause. Medications like anastrozole and letrozole used in certain breast cancer treatments can speed up bone loss because they drastically reduce estrogen. And estrogen plays a direct role in protecting women's bones. Here, it's crucial to make something very clear. These medications can be essential and should never be stopped without medical guidance. The purpose of this conversation is different. It's to show that, in many cases, protecting the bones also needs to be part of the treatment, because pain, loss of strength, fear of falling, and a sense of fragility may not be related only to age, but also to hormonal and bone changes that can silently happen at the same time. And just when many people think they've already heard the main revelations, a group appears that almost no one expects to find on this list: antidepressants and anxiolytics. Fluoxetine, sertraline, clonazepam, and alprazolam often come up in this discussion. In many cases, these medications really help improve emotional and mental quality of life. The problem is that some of them can increase sedation, imbalance, slower reflexes, and the risk of falls, especially in older people. In addition, some studies have found indirect associations between certain antidepressants and increased bone fragility in specific situations. And here's an important truth. Fractures don't depend only on the bone. They also depend on muscle strength, balance, mobility, and the body's ability to react. A minor fall in someone with preserved muscle mass might not cause any harm, but for someone with silent bone loss, the outcome can be completely different. Maybe that's why there are signs that so many people ignore for years. Loss of height, that's right. A more hunched posture, weakness in the legs, fear of falling, trouble getting up from a chair, persistent back pain, a feeling of rapid muscle loss, more fragile nails. Often, the body starts sending out small, silent warnings long before the first fracture appears. And that's usually the hardest part of this story, because a lot of people only find out they have osteoporosis after what seems like a simple fall. A stumble at home, slipping in the bathroom, or a routine movement while carrying something heavy. And then a fracture appears in the wrist, hip, or spine. At that moment, the person realizes their bones had been weakened for a long time. After 50 or 60 years of age, a fracture can deeply affect independence, mobility, and quality of life. The good news is that the body still responds very well when it gets the right kind of stimulation. Strength exercises, especially supervised weight training, help stimulate both muscles and bones at the same time. Getting enough protein also makes a difference because muscle and bone age together. For some people, it may be important to assess vitamin D levels, sun exposure, and diet. And maybe one of the smartest things you can do is to review your medications regularly with professional guidance, especially if you already have risk factors for osteoporosis, menopause, low body weight, or a history of falls. It's also worth remembering that no single food, tea, vitamin, or supplement can solve everything on its own. Bone health depends on a combination of factors: movement, muscle strength, proper nutrition, sleep, regular medical checkups, and careful medication review all work much better as real protection than any miracle solution on its own. In the end, a lot of people take care of their blood pressure, cholesterol, acid reflux, and anxiety, but never think about their own bones until the first fracture happens. And maybe the main message of this video is exactly that. Noticing the signs early can completely change your quality of life in the future. That's all for me for now. God bless, take care, and a big hug to you.